Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Kennard Lewis. We here in the flesh. We doing it right. And I'm here today to talk about a topic that definitely hits the core. And that's about when anger and sadness lingers. I know that that can be very difficult when we're trying to have a good day. We're trying to live our lives. But sometimes the situations that we are in don't bring us the kind of joy that we want. They either frustrate us or they bring us sadness. And sometimes this anger and this sadness can be based off of being a byproduct of a traumatic situation, or they're just a culmination of unfortunate circumstances that we don't like to be a part of, but we are. And it's unfortunate to feel these things. And it's unfortunate to live our lives feeling sad and feeling angry. Like I know I don't like the feeling of not being able to get out of bed. I don't like the feeling when I'm trying to have a good day and there's a shadow that just kind of creeps up on me and it changes my mood. And now a once happy canard becomes a sad, gloomy canard. Or when certain people or certain comments are triggering me to the point where I can't exist in this space. I'm really frustrated. I'm really angry. And it's boiling. Like a lot of times that when we're dealing with this pain that's lingering, we don't necessarily deal with it ourselves and we don't talk about it. So when we don't talk about it because sometimes we are too busy dealing with our own personal lives, like paying bills, just surviving, just getting through the day, right? It becomes a fester. And it becomes to take hold that we just live in survival mode instead of just trying to live our lives in the best way that we can. And it's unfortunate because when we are on this path of just lingering and surviving and those feelings are not being dealt with, we tend to catch ourselves not being in the best state of mind. We tend to catch ourselves suffering. And it's such a terrible feeling. Like, it really gets you. It really gets you to the point where, you're not moving like you would. You're not as happy and responsive as you would be. Because you just have a lot of this going on. And again, like we said, that could be because we didn't deal with something at a past traumatic situation, or these situations are, unfortunate. And the thing is that we may have thought that we got through it, but when really we just got over it. And there's a difference, right? Because you could get over it and get over the hump and do what you got to do to move on, because that's what survivors do, and that's what we do. But you forget that there are emotions tied to that experience. There are realities that we have to understand that exist. And the best way to get over to stop the lingering is to confront the issue. Is to be mindful of what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how frequent you're feeling it. And hear this, get the right people by your side, right? Strong supporting cast. That's important. I understand that sometimes we may not be able to find good company, but it's important that we do find somebody. It's very important because these are journeys that we cannot do by ourselves all the time. These are emotions that are deep embedded into our bodies, into our minds, and they've been festering. And it's very hard for us, or it has been hard for us, to even deal with it, because if it were easy, we would have dealt with it. It wouldn't have been lingering. So it's very important to talk about it with somebody close to you. Tackle on the issue with somebody you trust, that you don't mind being by your side. Because when that pain lingers, when that sadness lingers, when that frustration lingers, you don't get to become yourself anymore. You get to become the emotion. You get to become the bed. You get to become the loudmouth. the frustrated mouth. And that's not a good thing to be. And I understand because there are times when I have to check myself and have to be aware. And the more I'm frustrated and I don't talk about it and I don't confront the issue and I don't try to get clarity about it, the more anger I'm going to feel. And some of these circumstances we cannot get out of. And that's what's so frustrating about it too, is that we feel angry. We're justified for feeling sad. But there's things that we just have to move through. And the only thing that we're gonna have to do, unfortunately, right, is deal with it, but deal with it by processing it and working through it. Don't deal with it and be like, oh, I'm gonna compartmentalize it or I'm gonna repress it and then move it on. That's not dealing with it. That's escaping it. Your sadness is real. Your anger is real. Your frustration is real. All of your emotions are real. And I want you to understand that, because if you do not feel them, then you're not as human as you can be. And being a human means feeling anger, feeling sadness, feeling frustration, feeling joy, feeling excitement. Like these, it's not all positive. And you have to be real with yourself. You have to understand that, this is how I feel. And you got to confront it. You have to take it head on. Don't be so afraid of it, even if it's going to take you somewhere. It's best to go with the emotion and accept it, then fight with it and let it control you. We're stronger than this. We're warriors. We're survivors. And it's very important that these emotions that we're going to feel, they're going to exist, but they don't have to become us. Or we don't have to become it. They're emotions that are part of our journey, but they don't define our journey. And I want us to understand that we're going to get through this. But the best way to get through lingering pain and sadness and anger is to confront it. It's to be aware of its presence and not allow it to control you. So please, let's take hold of it, let's acknowledge it, and let's work through it so we can become stronger human beings. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.